What's up, YouTube Revolution? ZombfectedGaming 349 at your fingertips. So I just saw the new episode 4 of season 11 called Rendition on AMC Plus. And spoiler warning who hasn't seen this episode. And this episode is a Reaper character development episode, and it's very Daryl centric as well. I gotta say, the way the Reaper's character development was just for one episode and just meeting some of these guys just blew the socks off my feet. But we are gonna be talking about Pope, the brand new villain who is the leader of the Reapers. I definitely gotta say, this has been one of the best villain introductions ever since Negan showed up. The way one of the Reapers also said to Daryl he is going to meet the man was such an awesome callback to when Simon said, "Let's meet the man," all the way back in the end of season 6. Also, let's talk a bit about Pope's backstory. He was a private military contractor, also known as a mercenary, and was fighting in Afghanistan, so he was definitely a fighter long before the world fell. So let's get back to present day in The Walking Dead. Maggie killed this Michael Turner Reaper just before this episode, and by the looks of it, this Michael Turner guy must have meant a lot to the Reapers, and including Pope as well. So we see this ritual-like funeral for Michael Turner, and it's pretty crazy, creepy stuff. And finally, we get our very first look at Pope himself as he walks through the shadows, kind of like Negan when he was first introduced. It's definitely an awesome callback. Only difference is Negan is joking around like saying, "Are we pissing our pants yet?" But Pope, oh man, he is serious and looking really angry and says, "God is here," and he is angry. "I'm angry. Do you feel that? And we will make them feel our wrath." And just as we get the introduction to Pope's theme soundtrack that's playing, just makes the scene and villain introduction so much more powerful. So eventually, Leah also convinces Pope that Daryl would be very useful to the Reaper since Leah and Daryl had some history with each other, and Pope says some pretty funny lines. "You had to go on a fishing expedition with an old boyfriend, and I see a guy who wants to get in your pants." This definitely gave me Negan vibes since it's a dirty saying, but the only difference is he was trying to be serious about it and not in a joking way. But either way, it was still pretty funny. But if Negan said it, he obviously would have tried to say it in a funny way, like busting people's balls type jokes. So eventually, Pope gets convinced by Leah for Daryl to join the Reapers, and Pope has a meeting with Daryl, and that's where Pope tells Daryl about his backstory of how he was a mercenary in Afghanistan. And he also asks Daryl, does he believe in God? And Daryl says no. And Pope doesn't seem pleased to hear that, but Daryl eventually tells Pope that his backstory about his brother Merle, but it was off screen. So Pope is very much interested in what Daryl has told him. So eventually Pope wants to test both Daryl and Leah in an extremely dangerous situation by locking them in a room and burning the place down while they both help each other escape. Pope looked at this as both Daryl and Leah being baptized by fire, and that God has chosen them to live because they are strong and brave and rise from the fire as new people. This is definitely one hell of a way to test people's survival skills, but eventually Pope also talks about how Daryl is loyal and will save people like his own brother Merle by carrying him, and punished this Reaper who ran and left Michael Turner behind to be killed by Maggie, and Pope just sees this as being a coward, and the Reapers are known to not be afraid of death or pain. So in similar Negan fashion, another amazing callback, just like what Negan did to Dr. Carson by throwing him into the furnace back in season 7, Pope throws the coward Reaper into the fire for his sins by making it feel like as if he is going to hell and burning for his sins. This was extremely brutal and definitely more brutal than what Negan did to Dr. Carson. This just shows you Pope is definitely a brand new terrifying villain, and I gotta say, his character was written very well by Angela Kang. Pope reminds me of many different villains, not just on The Walking Dead, but some video games. Pope is kind of funny, so kind of like Negan, and especially doing things similar to Negan, and especially how a Reaper said meet the man, and just his seriousness of how he killed his own Reaper, kind of like Alpha killing her own people too, just a bit. But video game characters he reminds me of is Far Cry 5's Father Joseph Seed because of mentioning God, and also Days Gone's Colonel Garrett because he also mentions God and recruits Days Gone's main character Deacon St. John, who is also very similar to Daryl Dixon, a lone wolf type character who rides on a motorcycle. But I've also seen people say Pope reminds them of Walter White from Breaking Bad just a bit. I can see this a bit, I would say, since he is bald and wears glasses, and both seem like unpredictable characters who can be very sinister. But overall, this character introduction with the music theme he got and the way he came out of the shadows like Negan was just so well done. I'm definitely giving Pope a 10 out of 10 since I feel for the guy, and of course, his backstory was well told and just makes me really want to see a flashback episode for the villain or some flashback of the Reapers when the fall happened and when they were still just mercenaries. Since I really like Pope now and is one of my top villains since Negan now, I gotta say I'm extremely nervous for this guy getting killed off. But it might most likely happen because it seems to as if Maggie can't kill Negan since Negan is a changed man, but it's hard for her to accept it that she knows that Negan is a changed man, so maybe possibly she will have to take that anger out on Pope. But you never know what they can do with Pope. We will just have to wait and see since he is not a comic book character and this is all original material, so anything could go either way. But that's gonna do it for this The Walking Dead video. If you like this content, consider subscribing for more The Walking Dead content, and also if you're a gamer and enjoy video game content, consider subscribing to the channel for sure and ding that bell icon really hard so I can always stay within fast reach of your fingertips when new uploads arrive. ZombfectedGaming 349 over and out. You're alive!